1 2 3ชนแล้วค่ะ
Hey folks, and welcome back to our Travel to Thailand 2022 series here. If you're keeping up, you'll know that yesterday we spent a little bit of a grueling day out in the rice fields, taking part in kind of a customary traditional event here that happens all over the place, some interesting cuisine. I'll put a link in the upper right hand corner if you missed that. But today it would be time to leave rural Roi Et and head to Buriram. Buriram, one of the key cities in Isaan. You know, just when I thought we were making a clean getaway out of here, though, I had a little bit of a surprise.
You know, we're nearing the end of this trip. And along the way, just about everywhere, every stop we've made, we've collected things. Some things V's bought, some things people have given us, almost like a little parting gift. The truck was full when we left. Now it's bursting at the seams. And up until now, I've just said, well, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Okay. But I think today's edition is a little bit beyond the pale. I have no idea why we need this. I have no idea. But that's right, it's a hay bale. So the hay bale will be our guest for the remainder of the trip. Unless through the wind of riding, driving, maybe it all blows away. Maybe by the time we get home, it's more like a handful of hay instead of a bale. I don't know.
So, in case you're curious, 60 baht, or just under $2 for that bale of hay. I have zero experience in purchasing hay bales. Let me know what a hay bale costs where you live. If you know a price of a hay bale, I don't know if that's a good price or bad price or whatever. But it's time to leave the countryside here and head down to Buriram. A quick stop for some morning noodles notwithstanding. We have a lot to do in Buriram, a lot that we want to look at. And one of the key things we're going down there for is we are going in search of a monster. I'll explain that as we go, but let's get on down there. It's a beautiful city and there is lots to see.
So we made it into Buriram. It's a little bit of a special weekend here. Behind me is the Chang Arena, Buriram United. But it's a whole complex here, motorsports, soccer, whatever. It's kind of the big, I don't know, it's kind of the big deal here in Buriram. But they're having some kind of nighttime marathon. I believe it starts here, goes through town tomorrow, and that's bringing like a lot of people into town. We actually had trouble finding a hotel. The one I wanted to book wouldn't let me book online. It said full, but I had V call them, and they said, yeah, we got a room, come by. So, but we can't check in till 1, 2 o'clock anyway. Now it's only around noon. So we came over here to the arena. We'll take a quick spin around here, see what's doing. The hay bale has really become a big pain in the ass. The bike was stuck on it. I'm not happy with the hay bale. That may find a home here in Buriram. Anyway, let's saddle up.
So I guess it's safe to say this whole Chang Arena complex here is kind of divided up into two sections. You have the football or soccer section up here where I parked the truck, and then you got to go through a security gate, and that kind of allows you access back to the motor sports area. There's a drag racing track. They have MotoGP here. There's all sorts of races. This is not the track, this is the road that goes around the track, but you can see there's spectator stands and all sorts. This area back here would be the entrance and part of the pit row, but they also have some concessions and, I don't know, displays set up, so we'll take a quick look here before we continue.
So that's probably the best look at the track and everything. We passed the drag races, that was all the way down the other end. You come around, but there's no motorsports this weekend. It'd be cool if it was. But we'll take a look at the event that they do have. There's also like a copy of a Cambodian temple here. V wants to see, we'll stop in there. I made it once around the track. The outside of the track, not on the track. And then we'll go to this hotel and see if we get checked in. If not, we'll have to go to plan B, but she did make a reservation. So hopefully we'll have a room there. It should be a nice place.
So yeah, with this big marathon event in town for this weekend, we had a little bit of anxiety about the hotel, and we're definitely experiencing higher prices, but we'll stop here and take a quick look at this little temple thing. There's restaurants, there's eateries all around here on the Chang Arena complex, and in the evening there's a little food market. People kind of spread out on the grassy knolls and enjoy what little breeze there is up here in Buriram. But so maybe worth a stop. But let's go out and see if we can get this hotel situation licked. We're going to be looking for 2 nights, so maybe a tall order with this event in town.
So wow, what an ordeal today with the hotels. I told V we stopped this morning for the noodles. I said, here, call this place. They won't let me book online, but maybe if you call. She called. I said, make sure you ask for 2 nights. Anyway, we get there, long story short, they only had the 1 night. The next place they said they had 2 nights we went to, it was more like a condo than a hotel though, and they had a room on the 4th floor, no elevator. I don't know. I just said, let me look around. I got back on Agoda. This is available. It's called the Roi Hotel. The Roi Hotel. And it's pretty decent. It's tucked away, tucked off the back street. There's nothing behind us but like a farm or some kind of petting zoo or something, a bunch of goats. So for the weekend, Friday night and Saturday night, we'll leave Sunday, 3,500 baht. And that includes scenery and wildlife fun and breakfast. And they got a swimming pool and a gym. It's a nice place. And it should be quiet. So that's that. We're finally in a hotel. It's been over an hour leaving Chang Arena, going to 2 different places before we got this, and a bunch of phone calls and looking online, and been a little bit of a headache because it's this big weekend. So they're all booked up. Anyway, I'll show you around a little bit. Nice room. The girls at the lobby were super friendly, and we'll look at the pool and all. And then tonight we're going out to a restaurant that a subscriber recommended. So we'll go there and try that, and try to have a good meal, kind of salvage this day.
So we ventured out for the evening. First stop, we went to Booster Kebab. Booster Kebab, right in the middle of town. I like a good kebab once in a while. V, not so much. She's not a big kebab fan. She wanted Thai food. And look, we had a little bit of a untraditional type meal in the rice fields the day before, so I think we kind of owed ourselves a good feeding today. And I would have been happy with the kebab, but they didn't have the Thai food that V was looking for, so she asked the ladies here, the lovely staff, and you know, when all else fails, ask the locals. They sent us to a place called Bus Buriram, so that would be our second stop.
Welcome to Buriram.
So yeah, literally only a couple minutes drive through town. It's called Bus Buriram because they actually have a school bus, an old school bus that's been gutted out and made into part of the restaurant. But most of the restaurant is pretty traditional. They have Jim Joom, that's one of the offerings here. Always surprises me how much you can cram in one of these little clay pots. I mean, it all kind of wilts down and stuffs in there, I guess. But V had Jim Joom. I had some tom yum, and we were happy here. We had some beverages. The staff were lovely and very fun, and it's kind of reminiscent of some of the places we used to go in Bang Sen. So we really enjoyed it. But the next day we'd be on the Monster Trail.
1 2 3ชนแล้วค่ะ
So about 20-25 minutes outside of the center of Buriram where we stayed, we've come to the Buriram Monster Fishing Park. And beautiful, beautiful facility here. Gorgeous. Probably one of the best outfitted fishing parks I've been to, fishing lakes that I've been to. This is a catch and release. It's not keep what you catch. These are huge, rare, prized fish that you normally wouldn't see under normal circumstances fishing. So you pay to catch some of the monsters here. So he asked me if I wanted to use bread or meat. And depending on what bait you use, you'll catch different fish. So we've used the bread before. We've been to fishing lakes, not this one, but other videos we've done at other fishing lakes. And we caught a certain kind of fish. So I thought we would change it up and use the meat to get a different kind of fish. He's got giant snake heads in here. He's got some kind of stingray, hybrid catfish, tiger and red tail mixed catfish, beautiful fish. So we'll see what we get. I guess if we don't catch anything with the meat, we can always switch over to the bread. I don't know. But I'm already seeing great big fish rising, getting the bubble of air. They've got carp, all sorts. So we'll see. We'll try our luck out here. But I see the pictures. I'll show you some of the pictures of the catches. They're very proud of the size and the quality of the fish here. So it's basically out in the country. We're surrounded by kind of farmland, but it was an easy drive out here. The GPS took me right here to the door. So we'll get started and we'll see how the day progresses.
So yeah, the Buriram Monster Fishing Park, one of those kind of places, I guess the expression go big or go home comes to mind. And it wasn't long, and we were trying at least to go big. So they're known here for just monster fish. I think the park is aptly named. And it wasn't long before I got my first bite. And look at that fella. Not exactly what I was fishing for, but that'll do.
I don't think it was 2 minutes in, 2-3 minutes in. I casted, let it sit, let it soak for about 2 minutes, and I had a bite. A great big swai. Oddly enough, they told me that one would be one of the fish that eats the bread. But using the meat, he ate that. He ate that and enjoyed it. But huge, huge fish. They got a special net for netting them, and then they take very pains with getting the hook out and release them straight away, and they swim off. So we'll see what else we get. So it's been about 6 hours since I caught that first fish and showed you. I've had a lot of action, a lot of bites. I've gotten close. I'll show you what a near miss looks like. There are huge giant fish in here for sure. Our guide, by the way, they left this person with us all day. I just call him the guide, but he's our helper. But I'll tell you this. The facility here is probably the best I've seen. Everything from the equipment, they have the rods, the tackle, all of that is top notch. The staff is top notch. They're there with you the whole time. They bait the hook. They switch baits. I went from chicken, like pieces of chicken wing, to cut bait, to live bait. They know what's out here. They know what's biting, what's not biting. They bait you up accordingly. So for all those reasons, it is a very, very well-run fishing park. And like I said a minute ago, there are huge fish in here, and you have a chance at catching them. They charge you by the rod. So 1,500 baht per rod. So V and I got one rod, and I used it most of the day, but she did get her turn. That includes the bait, the tackle, the guide to sit there with you to help you out. Also, you need them because they'll net the fish. There's no way you could get one of these up by yourself. They have a special net to grab the fish, and you need that. There's limited food out here, but they did say there was some kind of food available. We didn't have anything to eat, but they have drinks. They have beer, water, sodas, Cokes. They have drinks if you want drinks. I got some coffee. I suspect that somebody with more skill, or some skill, I have no skill, I suspect somebody with some skill probably would have brought up several more fish than what I did today. A lot of that is just knowing when to set the hook and giving them enough, letting them take the bait long enough. I may have been overzealous a couple times. The line started going out and I couldn't wait to hook them in. So there's some skill to it as well as luck. You need the luck to get that big one to bite your bait, regardless of your skill level. But I do think if you're into fishing, maybe go for the 2 rods. One was enough for us. With all that considered, I think it's a good day out here. And like I said, I don't know that you'd find another park with lunkers like this. I'll show you one. They've got kind of, I don't know, kind of not mounted, but they have it hung up here. One of these huge fish you won't see in other places that you have the chance of catching here, and in a quality, well-run environment.
So despite the fact that we only actually landed 1 fish for our day out here, I still felt quite satisfied. At some point, right around the time I shot that last segment, I kind of turned the rod over to V, and, you know, I had kind of resigned myself for the day. And then I went to the washroom. I came back from the washroom. Apparently, she had a bite, and it was a big one. And she had just given the rod to the gentleman here, our guide. And I felt a little bit maybe vindicated. He's got a big one. It's way, way out there on the other side of the lake. And I guess it ran all the way over there, and he's struggling with it. But you'll see here what happens. It just chomps right through the whole line. He lost everything. He's just got a big tangled mess there now. So anyway, he did about as well as I did, I guess. But anyway, next time we will be on our way home. We will leave Buriram and make some stops and get back to Pattaya. But that'll wait till the next episode, because for this episode, I've got to leave it off right here. And as usual, I'll thank you for watching. And until next time, bye for now.